we were talking that this may be a long-term issue, and we just need to make sure that this emergency is not going to be applied to further expenses we put out there.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so the way I've got it is letting staff know to insert an amendment in here to sunset basically the resolution, which is what constitutes it on May 17th, 2010.
Okay, that's the amendment.
And would you like to make a motion to that?
Yeah, make a motion to accept this amendment, sunsetting on the 17th.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second to insert language to basically sunset the declaration of the emergency on May 17th, 2010. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. With that, I've still got a motion and a second on the floor to pass and post the resolution in the usual manner. Other discussion?
This is the resolution on the emergency?
Emergency.
Correct.
Okay.
Seeing no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now to the item of the ratification of the proposal and contract from Cascade Radon itself. I do have one item I would like to, well, two items I'd like to clarify. One is under, on page, I believe you have it as page 3, item 26. Comes to payments made after 30 days from the invoice shall be subject to a late charge. One of Councilman Delavar's concerns is that it didn't spell out in there what the late charge is. What the late charge is 1% of the outstanding balance that is due. Did I get that correct, Steve?
Yes.
So that will change that one in there. And then Molly had asked the question, and I apologize that I had not brought the information to you previously. There was in the original report from Blue Sky, there are two references that appear to be the building next door, the building inspector's building next door. Testing that was done in the kitchen area and testing that was done in the basement area. In fact, there was no testing of that area. All the 6 testing sites were inside this building itself. It was just a mistake between our staff labeling the test units with certain wording, the word being annex, which to staff means certain areas inside this complex, and the testing company assuming that annex meant the building over there. So all that testing was done here. All the other buildings in the city, I believe now have been tested as well, and those went back out yesterday, including retesting of this building, the Citizens Service Center next door. I believe all the floors over there were done. The library, the senior center, the building inspectors, offices, police, fire, public works, even the dog pound. So any areas that we've got staff that are into for any period of time, testing was done on, and those went back out yesterday. We're anticipating those being back in hand on Monday. Any of those findings, if there are any, are outside of this. This contract and proposal is just for this building and what we know today.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the attached agreement.
Second.
I did have a question in there.
Yes, go ahead.
When did, just to give history for the minutes, when did we find out about the radon?
We had, well, in this instance, we did some testing that was kind of the tail end of all the air quality testing that we started the end of December and January when we started cleaning and moving offices. The radon tests that came back with these findings were done between the dates of April 12th and April 15th.
Okay.
And then we had those in hand the morning of the, well, they had the test run on the 16th in Seattle, and we got them back here on the 19th.
Did we have prior knowledge that we had a radon problem prior to those tests?
There is, I've been forwarded some emails that went back and forth between staff and the mayor and city administrator back in June of last year that indicated that on a preliminary radon test that was done in the basement that there were elevated levels then. On the 3 exchanges that I've been copied on, I don't see any responses from the administration at that time. Excuse me, There's one response in there, I believe, from Nabil on the second one that talks about as part of an air quality study and some ventilation upgrades and that type of stuff to be done at a date beyond that, that they would take those into consideration and have further testing done.
Okay. Is there any liability on our end in regards to staff?
I don't know in this instance of what we know today and what we've tested for in these recent tests, we've been led to believe that there is not. And that comes from WCIA directly. In as much as we did the testing, we had it certified, we had proper people do it, all of that type of stuff, and once we knew what the results of those were, we were taking immediate and proper action. So I think in their eyes and some of the comments that we've heard from some of the regulatory folks along the way as well, we've kind of gone over and above what they normally see as far as the reaction and the quick reaction to this, which they've categorized as good. In regards to the other one, yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
It was
Probably
done.
better not to comment publicly on it, I would think, too.
Yeah, you know, again, a test is a test, and it was done with a particular device by somebody not certified. That all I really know at this point is what I've seen in some of the email. Paul?
I just wanted to ask RJ are we well within the capabilities of our ordinary finance system to pay the bill within 30 days?
Yes, currently we have a healthy cash balance, and where this item is coming out of, and line item for professional services under repair maintenance for the facilities, we budgeted $120,000 this year. 2009, we spent maybe, I want to say 36,000 out of that. 2008 was like 76, so we can handle the cost, but as we look at our budget 2010 budget amendment going in there, we might consider this as an option that comes out of our cash reserves if we wanted to try to cut that number closer. But we are capable of doing it.
And then the second question is, in the ordinary course of kind of paper processing, can we pay the bill within 30 days?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
David?
On page 4, item number 32, not included in the contract.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Thank you. Page 4, item 32, not included in the contract. There seems to be a lot of work included in that not included paragraph there, much of which would normally be required if you're doing this type of installation and work. Do we have a feeling for how much additional it's going to cost us to do this?
Jim?
Yeah, we are going to mount a fan on the outside of the building. Steve, do you have any idea as far as wiring costs with an electrician? I think that's going to be the electrical cost.
Yeah, the main cost that was not included because Jim said that you would have your people wire it.
Right.
It's a pretty straightforward 110-volt unit. At normal race, it would probably be no more than $250.
Most of what's in here, Councilman Shoemaker, as far as clean up the landscape, the finish painting, that type of stuff, we do in-house. So there'd be obviously going to be some staff time put in there.